Hello and welcome to the third live stream. This is for the Haven tiles, the comparison of Minecraft versus, we're calling them Hamlet tiles. And we're just going to do a slight recap and then continue on. We'll see if this is my third video, third live stream in a row. Um, just kind of record. I figured, hey, I'm really excited. I should just continue on, and we'll see if this continues to feel like it's great, or I should kind of get it down to a more set schedule. So we got this Super Mario Brothers kind of example where I was using of saying, okay, yeah, this is tiles, node space. So you can think of this as a, I don't know, what is this, 15 by 17 tiles. Yeah, and then you got Minecraft, which we're using the block space. This is actually like 2 block space high, and then we haven't really are going to use variable tile styles. Dwarf Fortress, we've been focusing a lot on this because um, Minecraft is all about blocks. Any other game with slabs and various other aspects would have uh, different block spacing. So I think this picture from the Polygon article, which I guess I haven't linked them in the videos, but I probably should. Anyway, so here's the Hamlet example with our selection box. We might want to get that up somehow. Depends. It's oftentimes the trouble, right? Is how um, that hey, am I making a 2D or a 3D, or am I making a interact? What's the interaction with the world, right? So if the mouse is, it's nice to have the mouse interact with the world, even if you're only moving in a roguelike. So here's the description of um, our block space. So this is 000 with the blue being Z forward, X is in red. To the right would increase it this, which would go left and right, and then the Y, our yellow, is up and down. And then we are acknowledging that in graphics, when we place objects like this, we need to have their cube. This is like a Blender cube that is created in graphics, so we need to move it over by 0.5 by 0.5 to get into that central. So we got these takeaways. We can see the unit graphics is centered on 000 using a full meter block. This is great. Mathers favors int values, right? So anytime you have, our indexes, everything's simpler. One render in block space, right? So it's like you have this one block space, and it, whatever the graphics are, it's easy. And they're getting easy math, right? So can store using positions. Um, yeah. And then from the Hamlet, 0.2, the graphics will need to be adjusted 0.1 in unit space up or down from the block space. So this is kind of like when you do tiles that are different block spaces, you have to adjust up or down, and then you start, incursion. It's like, oh, hey, I'm up here, now I'm down here. And it's like I'm in, making an incursion, a Marvel incursion into the next universe. And that's really a big no-no. So we've actually tried to figure out how to avoid this by, using our Dwarf Fortress example, talking about the fact that this right here, where my mouse cursor is, this tile is the ceiling, and if this is the floor, this, you know, um, these these 5 slabs would be our block space. So we've designed that, um, and then yeah, so that would encase everything into a 1 by 1 block style. Um, let's see, so if it's in floats and spatial coordinates, it's, we're using spatial coordinates of 0.1 versus the ints, right? So int block space is super easy. You don't have any floating point errors and all sorts of problems. Uh, and when we do 0.2, 0.1, we get into a lot of, we'll start seeing that as we move forward with this project. We'll start seeing errors in the fact that when we're like, oh, hey, we're choosing this block space, but we're out of this block space, and we have to account for a lot of, um, again, this is the example. If you use a one tile, use a slab world even to represent the block space, you still only have one render, right? So that's That's great. It's harder but doable math. It's, you know, 0.2 because we are picky about our, you know, our value, right? So we're going from 0.1 0.f to 0.9f and not 0.1532, you know, whatever f. It's like we're it's significant different a significant digit. All right, and that's the same thing. Uh, you know, we the math is insane on the Dwarf Fortress one, but we're picky. We're kind of trying to help ourselves, and then we can't store using positions. Can store using block positions. I mean, you could store, but yeah, it makes it harder. I haven't really, yeah, yeah. So, this is like the dwarf like. This is all other. So this is all other 0.2 to 0.5f or whatever, whatever you want to think about. We actually might develop a 0.5f pretty soon to see that difference. The slabs. Graphics will adjust to 0.2 and need to account for each tile and block space. So yeah, everything will be adjustable, right? As soon as you change the world space, you're no longer at 000. You're now at 0.2, 0.1. I mean, that's one way to solve, right? That's one way to these two is one way to solve. The floats and spatials, it becomes not impossible, but it's like it's the same thing, right? It's almost becomes impossible, but yeah. So we got this issue of 5 renders in a block space. You know, that's 5 times the graphics processing power. Um, yeah. And again, like this is like, you know, this is 6 cubes, right? So this is 6 cubes to represent. Now we're up to um, you know, we're still down to 6 cubes. Um, six faces, I guess. Let's call it faces because that's what it is. So we're up to 6 faces. Now here again, we're up to x, you know, the faces, 6 faces times the block. Ooh, ooh, times the block. That was weird. Everything just turned black and 6 faces times the block numbers, right? So the block slabs, the slab numbers. Let's say slab numbers. So it's you've got 6 faces every time you do you know you know from anywhere between 0.2. The same over here, right? So this is times the slab number, which is 1, will equal 6 still, right? So we're always this definition is about using um, the 6 faces. Again, we could also implement a hybrid system, right? We can our trees can be hybrid, right? I mean, it's not really important, but yeah. So and then here again, like we have up to, you know, in slabs we'll have 2, so it'll be 12 faces. But if we you know, 0.2 for every block, that's times 5, so it's 6. It's 35 faces. That's a lot. That's a lot times um 5. Yeah, it's 30 faces. So that's so 30, and there again, so 30 faces times 2 is 60 vertexes, right? And then, you know, and there again, like, so, okay, that's 60 times 3 is 180 points of data for the math, you know, for the, you know, so that equals 180 points. And this is, you know, this is the same. It's 6 times, it's 24 points. Same over here. This is 24 points as well. So yeah, so you can go from 24, you know, up to, it's like up to 180 points, right? So just to clarify that, you know, it could be, it's between 24 and 180. It says from 24 to 180. So yeah, that's a lot of, that's per tile, right? Per tile. So if you have 10,000 tiles on the screen, that's a, you know, or I think we're up to 1,000 now, like 2,000 times 180. I think we're up to, you know, 360,000 points of data. Now we don't have to keep track of all that's all in the background, but still it's something to think about. Yeah, so yeah, we're still picky about our values either way. Um, here again, we're still picky about our values, you know, so we can like copy and paste this. These are the exact same thing. Um, Paste this in here. I guess this didn't copy. Copy, and then we can paste. Oh, I guess it is. Okay. And then we can't store using position, but can store using block position. So, I mean, this is the exact same thing, right? We're saying, hey, we can't store the position. Oh, I see. I guess we're arguing. Yeah, can store using block space. So, um, yeah. Anyways, here, let me drop this down a couple. And then here's our test we took away. So we're talking about the fact that this is kind of what we're trying to get to. This is like, and then this is a problem. This is about the facing, right? So these all need to have faces, or you're bleeding through the world. And this is like the example point one, but it's also a Minecraft problem. If you don't account for every block around you, then um, you're bleeding through the same thing. Here's the completed example of the point three. Here's point two, and then point one, and we've got the Minecraft where you can kind of notice that there's only 5 versus like 7 and 9 up here. Okay, so I think that's a good intro, 10-minute intro. So I'll have to skip ahead. Okay, so now a couple things. So we brought in that toon shader, but if you hit play, the toon shader doesn't actually get rid of the doesn't get rid of the here. Let me see if I can test like Minecraft. I don't know. Test. I guess technically you can see the shadow right here. It feels weird. Like, why are we? If the light is going this way, I guess it could cast a shadow, but there again, like, why wouldn't it cast the shadow over to here? Like that to me is like, I don't know. I guess it's hard to. I guess the blocks right there, but yeah, it's gets harder. We also should do a like a. Yeah, let me do like a even. Did I change my camera? Let me change my unit to, my camera rig to -2. I think this will give us a. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so let's take this to -2, and we'll see. Um, the, Technically, what I'm looking at is right here. It's like this shading is like, I guess if the light was in a very specific point in time, but we actually found a simpler solution, right? Come over here and hit 90 and hit play, and now we're like much more stringent on our light. And then also too, I'd like to say this is like 20, or something. So yeah, our light looks so much better versus 45. It's like, I think can I do yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of value here to say, yeah. But I can see at certain points of time, it'd be actually would be interesting if we took this value here. Maybe we should write a piece of code that does that. Like takes X, Y, and Z, and yeah. And then, but yeah, I just like the fact that like 90 degrees straight down, and then so yeah, 90 degrees straight down, and then we see our unit here and our light. Oh, this is actually like 20, or let's say like 10. Yeah, so we're technically the light won't matter because yeah. Anyways, the light won't matter. The distance of the light doesn't matter in this case. I think and the intensity and the modifier could probably maybe change that, but technically it doesn't matter. Wow, I guess that kind of makes a huge difference. But I think if, I'm saying if we're 10,000 feet up or 1 feet up, it doesn't matter. I think if we're -20, yeah, see, it's an all-encompassing light. So really it's just more for um, positional points. And then that's why I feel like 10 should be good. Just because we're Yeah. Yeah, so we could write some light code. There again, Minecraft checks each block based on the sun and all sorts of things, like how much light is in per block and how much is lit. Um, and yeah. Okay, so so I think the thing to really do is to get started is under the test Minecraft. I think we're actually going to test a new slab system, which I believe is under this. I want to say under Haven, Hamlet, Dwarf Fortress. Let's go slab. Sure, that sounds wonderful. Um, we're gonna go open our. Oh, I'm like, what is all that? Okay, yeah. So, and then our block right here is 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, huh. I guess yeah. So this is basically what we need to say is duplicate this. We'll call this slabs, and then we'll turn this on. View it in there's editor, and then I just want to say these. Well, let me just delete these two. Delete this. This is 0.5. This is 0.25, and then this is 0.75. And if I turn on that, get these slab-like objects. Okay, perfect. And then here from here, let's take our objects and add slab as our object. And then under our test code, we need to add in a case down here for a slab right here. Let me copy. This is case slab. And then just paste this right here. And then our slab is 0.5. And then we have to do 0.5 here. Really, this should just equal the tile height. Um, yeah, really, this could just be like, hey, get rid of all this. Oops. Yeah, no. You, you, and good. Oh yeah, when I hit, oh no, that's okay. And then what we want to do is under the test Minecraft, we're going to go to labs, and hopefully we'll get this 0.5 view. Feel like it, but are we 0.5? Oh yes, look at that. I'd like to actually get some uh, height in here. I guess that's 0.5. Like, shouldn't I know? Well, yes, I probably should. I thought we were doing something different about the block types. Oh, you know what? I feel okay. I feel like I know what's partly wrong is okay. So I'm here. We're gonna lock this, and on our mesh renders, we need to add 2 more mesh renders. Yes. Now it should get us. Yes. Okay. Okay. Um, Let me snip this, add it to our graphic example. LR. Yes. Okay. So this is the 0.5 slab example. Really probably should be way up here, I guess. I mean, so it does look quite a bit different, but I'm not sure why it doesn't look that much different than a 0.3 example. I'm going to do the world example. So I think we do actually have this world example that we built here. Yeah, the Dwarf Fortress example, and then this unit space. Well, this actually would be, well, 0.3, right? Yeah. And then this is Yeah, considering like if we turn off, well, technically it'd be these two, right? Yeah, so if we turned off these two, and again, if you turned off this one, is what I really. Um, so yeah, this is saying, okay, so here's the Minecraft example. So we have one block space, our character's in two. You can see now, like, you need 3 or 4 to really get a height. The Hamlet is 0.1. Its block space is, it only barely, uh, I think as the character can be reduced down to fit into 2 block spaces is probably much more reasonable. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. We need this is going to be 0.5, 0.5. Should actually probably maybe organize this, in a series. So like this 0.5 should be right here. So you're going to be 1, -1. No, you're at, oh, here, let me, well, 0, and then this will be -1, and then you'll be, and this Hamlet is 0.1. -1, -2, -3. It'd be nice if that lined up, and then this is -4. Yeah, and then this is the Dwarf Fortress 0.5. We'll just delete this, take this to 0.5, and this is 0.25, 0.25, and this is 0.5. Oh, 0.75. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now we can just turn that off. Yeah, and then, oh, and then the player is, yeah, 0.5 here, and the player block space is, 0.5. You know, you know. Um, so yeah, you can see how the Minecraft is 1, 0.5, 0.3, 0.2, point, yeah. Why is this like 0.3? Yeah, I guess that's 0.3 and that's 0.5 here. This and this. I guess it's like this plus this equals the 0.5. So yeah. Anyways, it's cool. We're done. Let's move on. So yeah, so I feel that's great. We've got that. So I think the next thing to do is to think about. I guess I was talking about, okay, where do I go with this? And to me, it's like, okay, well, I could develop this into a project, right? It's like this is a great start for a, a building a project live on YouTube, and kind of where I'd go from here. So to me, it's like I'd love to be able to get a some sort of camera action, implement a mouse, so I can kind of tell me where the block spaces are. Um, yeah, I might have to. I basically would pull some code from that. I'm not going to be writing uh, code live. I think that would get a little bit frustrating, because I already have everything done and I need to go look at and try to debug and figure out all the mistakes I would make just copying and pasting. Um, and then I would love to be able to say, add in a player movement, just pseudo player movement. And the pseudo player movement would actually be, well, it would be really player movement. So I'd basically want to come in here and say, okay, well, um, let's say here, we'll just say player input, right? So we want a player input. At some point, we'd actually have to say blocks, like we'd have to create a blocks class. So the blocks class would store all the data. So when the player movement says, hey, move forward, am I running into a block? So this is like, well, these are actually like nodes, but they're blocks. I don't know. It's I should call this nodes. Blocks. I guess blocks is good enough. So this basically just gives you the block, because that's what this is trying to signify, right? This block space is this one, two, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different block spaces, but they all fall into the exact same block space. No matter what you do, you need to sort of store this data somewhere, and I feel like um, this data, right, is stored in Hamlet is stored, um, in here uh, 10 times, right? So 10 times 0.1 becomes 1.0. And there again, this is 5. This is, 3, 3 actually, which is stored in 3, right? So you get that point. It's actually 3.3, forever, but, you're just going to round it off to 3 and then have a point point oh 0.01 difference. And then this is stored in zero point 0.5 block spaces, which I think actually is pretty cool. Um, yeah, I would almost feel like the any like point two is too like point two is okay, but I feel like point five is actually pretty cool. Um, I do actually like maybe like point three. I should like name these as better examples, but I believe this is like point three, but it just feels a little like so maybe point five is not terrible. The slab is not terrible. Um, and it feels like to me it's like you're stepping up, right? It's not like this, you're stepping up per tile. So maybe we should just start with the point 0.5 and implement that, and then, well, maybe start with the point 0.1 and implement that. um and then, yeah, and then I feel like the Minecraft, I've kind of gotten over the idea that it's copyrighted, but I just feel like it's not. It's like it feels very, I don't know. It just feels like your character should be at least 3 high or something. I don't know. I just can't get over the fact that it's a great world, and as you're digging in by 2 by 2. I was thinking Terraria is kind of the same way, but I don't know where it's kind of weird for me to think about it like that. But you're digging. Um, here, let me go to documents. Let's go Haven Studio. Let me go create a folder for art examples. And then here, well, let me just go paint. All right, so if I have this idea that I'm in this world, and um, I'm in this current size, to me it's like, I don't know, if we're digging this way, right? Your character is like right here. So it's like you also have to dig to, um, to clear out. And I really wish there was a way to, I guess, let me, can I do a box? No, it needs to be a box, but oh, I guess it's a shape. Yeah, so I guess I'm thinking of a shape. So if I say, hey, there's my character, I essentially need to dig this to, um, there again, like we're almost into Mario Brothers at this point, because we're in that side view of what we're talking about. And I feel like that's how Terraria works. Um, the other thing too, I'd like to maybe, let's see, shapes. Can we do a line shape? Yeah. So if I really wish there was a, um, yeah. So I'm not good at drawing, but we've been, yeah, we've been arguing over this fact that, that mm, looks like we're not. Okay. Well, if that's one block space, right? We've, oh, this is almost where paint.net would be really good. At least make you straight, and then we can feel like, yeah, and then we'll just erase, just paint. Can I say this and then paint right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let me save this as a PNG. Of course, it's going to be different. Haven Studios. Oh yeah, there you go. It's a interesting example here. Where's that image? Right here. Yeah, so this is kind of like this is actually an example of how the block space don't have to be uniform, that you can combine and connect. This is like your block space, but then it's like, okay, you can actually merge all your block space like into Tetris bricks almost, and then form the Tetris bricks. But anyways, let me go into here. Let me edit this with paint.net, paint.net, because I love this. Paint.net is cool because now, um, okay, so now I can, well, zoom in bigger. I have more tools, and I can, eraser. Yeah, so I can, oh yeah, let me, oh, the only thing I don't like about paint.net is like, oops, it has this, wants to delete. I think there's a eyedropper. Yeah, here we go. And then I want to, let me look at this. Okay, yeah. So I have these layers, right? So now I can add a layer, and we'll say, okay, this is, you know, dwarf, right? So make this the dwarf flavor. And then from here, I can say, hey, give me is there a line tool? Line tool. And we'll say, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, see, this is the anti-aliasing. I want this disabled. Oh, come on. Okay, so now yeah, so I just want to say, hey, oh, no, of course not. Oh, brush size. Oh, here we go. Oh, what, 10? Wow. Huh. Why can't I? Okay, maybe just a pencil? No, of course not. Um, why can't what am I missing? Oh, oh, I see what I'm doing. No? Huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I can see what's going on. On this level, select all, delete this. Okay. I see what's going on. My color is wrong. Color. Oh, can I just go pixel, color picker? We'll go right, color picker, go left, we'll go line. There we go. Okay, now we can do size of, I guess, 5. Oh yeah, color with Micaiah. Isn't that exciting? Okay, so now I can, uh, but yeah, imagine that's the dwarf fortress, right? So that's the dwarf, right? So now we can say, okay, that's great. Oh, did I do it on this layer? I was on the wrong layer. Let me try to do it on this layer so I can. Oh, really? Okay. I get it. I get you're angry. What? You have to be on top? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you got to be on top. I mean, I get it. I get you're angry. Okay. I think it would be like top bottom, but okay. I think I'm losing my colors again. Anyway, okay. So now I should be able to have a line. No, of course not. Why? Huh. So let me say, yeah, there we go. Oops. Okay. So here, now I can say line. I should be able to draw a black line and yeah, move it up. Okay. So weird, but okay. So imagine that's the case, right? So we've just now drawn very poorly. This is why, I need a Wacom tablet or something. Yeah. So this is this is our ground. This is our tile. This is our block space. And then, okay. So now from here, we're good. This is like Minecraft, right? This is Minecraft. And now we've got the dwarf idea here. So now we can actually say add a new layer and we'll say slabs, right? And to me, we just take this and cut this in half and we're done, right? So done. Yay, slabs done. And then we're like, okay, well now we can say, um, we're at, um, 0.3. And then from here, you say, okay, cool. I just take my equal distance apart. Oops, that's probably pretty horrible. Take my equal distance apart, and now we've just built slabs, right? And they're so I mean, like we're cake at that point, we're a cake. This is the cake layer, and then but yeah, you can see like our slabs, right? They cut our cake into half versus cutting it into third. Um, and then Dwarf Fortress, we kind of add this, 0.3, and this is 0.6 and 0.3, right? So our 0.4 and two 0.3s, right? So that's our three, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is, you know, and again, like, so to me, let's add another layer here, and we'll call this dimensions, right? And to me, it's like we have this idea that we're from here to here, here to, well, this is, well, I don't want to just, and then we'll just say, um, oh, yes, no, okay, this is right here, T, and this is 1 meter. So yeah, well, let me save this as a PDN um, Minecraft showcase. Um, so yeah, so no matter what we're doing, right, we're slabs without the dwarf, we're at, we're still, so this is 0.5, right? So this is 0.5. So if I like go into here, no, for the slabs, I can say, I'm at 0, oops, I'm at 0.5. No, of course not. I'm at 0.5, and here also I'm at 0.5. It's like I've, got these same thing here. I'm cutting that into the 2 meters into half. Anyways, I think that does it. Pretty good job trying to explain, graphically what I'm trying to do. So now I'd like to be able to go and start creating some ideas here. So we could create a camera rotation system. We could create a unit. I think a unit player right here, just add the component to player input here would be one, way that's going to be relatively easy, right? So, and then from here, we're going to have to actually probably create a singleton. Um, uh, this is going to be a singleton. So all we just need to do is go static test Minecraft instance and then void awake and then instance equals this. And yay, we're done. Singleton created. Um, yeah. And then, oh God. Okay. And then I want to do at this point is say my game type, right? So this is public static game types, game type equals the instance dot game type. And then from here, I can say, well, let me remove this and we'll find all the errors down here. I think we actually only set this once right here. Oh, no, and down here. Yeah, so set the game type. So now we now have this ability to say on the player input, we just say if input dot get key down, key code dot w, no, key code dot w, no, key code, just key code dot w. There we go. And we basically say transform dot position plus equal transform dot forward. Yeah, so now we hit W, now we'll be able to move forward. Yay! Okay. Well, now we can't move back or anything. But yeah, so the rest of this is pretty straightforward. And then here again, you can also say like or uh, input dot get key down, key code dot up arrow, up arrow. So like, okay, well, just give the person the ability to do the down arrow. And then we just want to say minus equal forward. Oh, this is down arrow. Oh yeah, down arrow like that. Okay. And then we also need you gotta. It's actually Visual Studio helps you where you hit this and it shows you the opposite one. So now you just need to say this, and then we're gonna say transform dot right. Probably gonna get this backwards, but as such, and then we're gonna say this is keycode dot D, and then keycode dot A, and then the right arrow, left arrow, right, right arrow, left arrow, no, left arrow. And now we should be in all cardinal directions. So yay! Oops. Apparently not. Oh no, this is S. Yeah, that's probably why. It was feels like it should have been doing more though. There we go. Yay! So it's doing it correctly. So yeah, cool. From here, um, yeah. So really, we really need to do this separately because we're gonna have to write a whole lot of code. But yeah, so we're good. Um, Yay, game's done. So now really, like I'm saying, do I want to take a block step up? I guess that's not impossible, which is where this comes in. So we need the same thing over here, blocks, instance. You could create a singleton class and build all, however you want. From here, you kind of need to say, okay, so we got a dictionary of vector threes, and we're just going to say block, well, let's say block, but I don't know. This is the block dictionary. Um, well, blocks is, I'm thinking like, we could just say public class block, um, like Minecraft block, right? Not a blocksa. Blocksa, block. Um, yeah. Or we could just, use the same graphics geo right here. So essentially we're eliminating in the test Minecraft, we're sort of expanding our code to say, okay, we don't need this node dictionary anymore. So this is gone. And then from here, we say blocks, um, blocks dot set tile, and then pass in the material types dot dirt, like we were. Um, set something, huh? To the what? The huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, set tile the materials dot dirt. Yes. And then from here, we just say, hey, build me this function and dump our code into here. And then from here, we're just like public, and we need the int instance. And we just need the dictionary, block dictionary, and then yes. Oh, sorry. I also need the v index vector3 and v index, which is technically the block index. Oh yeah, this is the block. So really, we essentially want to copy this because I mean this is like we're holding all the data in a mono behavior, so it's probably okay. It's not great, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, and we actually could do this differently. Yes, I want to do this to here and here, and yeah. Oh, and then yes, we need just to fix these other three. So this is we don't need this anymore. This is if blocks contains let's contains the node position. Um, yeah, and we'll say this, add this, and we'll say blocks dot add. Say blocks dot add the node position geo, and we'll add that function. So this is contains. We'll just say return instance dot no well blocks block 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 dictionary contains key the node position. And then this one is just um, instance.block dictionary add at the node position geo, and then we'll just convert all these to publics. Really wish you could like convince Visual Studio not to use the God, I really need to enable chat. Like people could be screaming at me and I wouldn't even know. The whole point. I didn't do anything about it. Oh, and then we have oh yeah, we need to create the static instance of blocks. Code blocks. And now you actually get into an issue here of um, the default execution order. We'll just make this minus 9,000. And I really wish should get some. I guess I don't have any views, right? I have no views, so it's when my views start racking up, then we'll start thinking that it's an issue. Okay, let me get out of full screen. Um, huh. Where did I go wrong? Event, dictionary, set tile. Yes, we create the block here at the O neighbor. Oh, we round the int here. So this is really, yeah, we don't need that. Yeah. And then, yeah, but we're still failing, right? Why are we failing? It's probably because of this, but we're setting the tile and we're doing that through the blocks. Huh. So when we create this, we should already have it. So we're creating it through the neighbor and we're trying to change the neighbor. So under here, so, oh. Oh yeah, if it contains false, then add it to the neighbor. Oh look, it works. So now, I feel like this conversion here. Well, I guess we're cool, right? So we're cool. Okay, so now here, let's just say, um, public void check bump, right? We'll just say bump. Say a very exciting vector3 transform move. And we'll say vector3 int rv block equals v, no, vector3 int dot round to int arch. Here, let me actually do some public vector3 int. We'll say position equals the vector3 int dot round to int our transform dot position. So that's a helper. We can actually do that 1,000. That's another video I have out there. But okay, so then the vector3 v position equals the position plus the transform move rounded to an int. Yes, I can say plus vector3 round to int the transform move, which is actually kind of really ironic if you think about it. So like if you look at here and you looked at the forward vector, right? And you're like, okay, what's the forward vector? Well, the forward vector is the position plus the forward, right? So okay, what's that? You look at here and it's just a vector 3 dot forward. And you're like, well, what's a vector 3 dot forward? And it's like, it's essentially, this. And to me, it's like you look at all these, and it's like there's no reasons these need to be vector threes anymore. They should be vector ints because they're all in unit space, right? So, I mean, that to me should signify making this all into unit space vectors instead of this idea that they're a vector three. And yeah, but I mean, I get granted the vector three ints came out, I don't know, 2020 ish, 2000. I don't know. When did Unity come out with the Vector 3? Google Unity uh, came out with a Vector 3 int. I don't know. It was like 2000 something something, 2019 plus, I want to say. But yeah, so now we just say, okay, I want to bump the transform dot forward here. And then I want to bump the transform negative forward. So you could actually just say you want to do the negative forward because there isn't actually any, um, as I'm aware of. I guess there is the forward vector and the right vector and the left vector. So it is, and actually technically what we could really say is the vector 3 int dot forward. Oh, great. Can't do that. Vector dot forward. I guess you have to say the vector 3 of forward. I guess you can actually say that more and then just say vector 3 dot. Is there a back? Oh, there is a back. Okay. Maybe that'll be a little bit more explicit to what I'm trying to do. And then this is the bump vector 3 dot right. I was just noticing that it's the transform position plus, and then this is vector 3 dot left. Now, there probably isn't a, oh yeah, it is the down, no, wow, positive infinity vector, and wow, negative infinite vector. And what's, oh, and there's no -1 vector. And to me, it's like there would be nice if there was a -1 vector. But you also I don't see a, yeah, yeah, I also don't see like a northeast vector. So I mean, there is a northeast vector, but yeah, so from here, yeah, so our position plus our round to enter the transform position. And then I want to say, um, if blocks contains the V position, return, else the transform dot position plus equals the transform move. All right, and then so here I should now, oh, and I need to say the blocks contains. Oh yeah, so if it contains that, yeah, it should now be able to be blocked by, nope. Oh, why is that the case? Let me, Well, it actually works. I mean, that's pretty exciting. Uh, it works. The fact that I can now use the vectors, which I think are a little bit more clearer to me than using transform.forward and minus transform.forward and all that stuff. It's like, oh, hey, we're moving forward, left, right, and black. Um, I haven't even tried the arrow keys, I guess. We're testing for science. Yay! Yeah. And then let's see on our vectors plus position. So here, um, let me say the unit space, we'll move it forward on the Z by 1. We'll attach to unity, put a block right here. I'm gonna run. We're gonna be up against the wall. I swear, be up against the wall. Okay, don't make a fool out of me. There we go. Nope. Okay. Well, what? Oh, I think because I changed. Here, let me fix that bug. Not technically a bug, but it's annoyance. Um, we are right here. I want to here. Let me say the um, vector 3 and b position equals the unit object dot position. Oh, I don't have that. Okay. Well, what's equal the vector 3 in the round to int unit object dot transform dot position, and we're just going to say the v position dot x, and then here. Be yes, because I'm changing my tile height to set, and I'm trying to set this to 1 at the start. It's like changing that. So now, if I'm attached to Unity and I hit W, yeah. So our position now is 1, 2, which is correct. So now the question is, why are you not containing? And I don't. Yeah, containing. Debug. If blocks contains this position return. Feels like this is what I hate about blocks, but let me do something dumb because we don't have access to a lot of things. So let's say a list of vector 3 blocks used equals null, and then we'll just say blocks used equals new, and I just want to say blocks on the set tile. No, add. Let's say instance dot block used dot add, and then we'll just say the node position. Okay, so the other thing I was thinking about, well, this is interesting, but this is really the block position, the V block position. Um, I just want to make it extremely clear, saying that the node position is, the 000 whatever, but here we're describing block space. So I want to make sure that and I also want to say no, serialized field. Now, to me, it's really interesting. I'm like, oh, I see the problem, right? I didn't serialize my dictionary. That's why I'm not seeing my dictionary. Oh my goodness gracious, right? And then I click this. But yeah, now I should be able to see all my blocks, but you can't see the dictionaries normally. So we're looking at 02. Technically, you can just come in here and say under the test Minecraft, and then say, well, you'd say, well, anyways, um, yeah. But yeah, so I want to say my blocks. 'Cause to me, it's like, okay, well, how are we? Yeah, so 0. Oh, wait, no, no. I was thinking like here, we're looking at this Minecraft block as in the terms of this block, but we're actually not needing to look at the block below it, right? Um, there again, like we when you check the the gravity, that might be important. But right now we're just trying to track the forward facing block. Um, yeah, that's all we're trying to do. And this is at 0, 2. Oh, yeah. So, oh, and what was our positional data attached to Unity? Are we? Oh, you know what? I know it's okay. Yeah, I know it's wrong. It's the player input, right? So if we think about this, and here, let me. So we're attached to Unity. Hit play. If I hit W, the position, right, is 0, 1, 0. So our V position is now 0, 1, 2 because we're sitting above the block. Oh yeah. And then the block we're actually trying to, oh, here we can't do that. Yeah. So, and then now you can't do that because the block you're sitting in right here is at, yeah, you're sitting at, um, your block space is actually, right, your position is 0. Yeah. So all I have to do really is say v position dot y minus equal 1f, minus equal 1. Yeah, I guess 1 because this is a integer. Um, like how did we get into this position where the unit space? Yeah, so now I can't move forward. Oh, and so now it's like, oh hey, I've actually do contain that, and it's like, oh hey, I'm going to return now. So we now are stopping ourselves from entering that block space. And here, let me get rid of this. So now I can't actually enter. Oh, hello, my I can't. It won't let me move. Okay, so let me ask the question of why is my unit up by 1? I guess it's a specific to the this is kind of like where if if test underscore Minecraft dot game type equals Minecraft, we need to account for we're up by 1 block space. So we need to remove 1 block space if we're playing Minecraft. Okay, so why can't I move back? Let me put another break here. Debug, stop debugging, attach it to Unity, hit play. So why can't I move back? So we're looking for the positional 0, 0, 0. So I thought there was no 0, 0, 0, but it thinks there is a 0, 0, 0. Okay, well, when it thinks it's right and I think I'm right, then we have to go ask. So, oh, okay, yeah. So there is a 0, 0, 0 block. So it does feel like I'm in the wrong here. This whole level is 0, 0, 0. So yeah. So why is this level? Oh, you know what? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. Yeah. It thinks it's in the wrong space because of the trick. We tricked the compiler. We tricked the thing into saying, "Hey, um, move the entire transform up." Yeah. Like so this is like here if we eliminate this code and run this, we'll say that, oh, well, this is what we're seeing, and that's what it's seeing, and it wasn't happy. Yeah. Uh, So we really need to adjust that to fix for the idea that we need to say create a block at the S neighbor of our height. Yeah. Yeah, so this right here dot so we'll do vector 3 v block position equals a neighbor, and then the v block position dot y equals the height that we're trying to accomplish here. And that is rounded to an inch. And so this is like where we become, where we were trying to avoid this very issue, but now we're taking our neighbor position, the area around us, and convert it into a block position. Um, and this is like where we're taking our height, and then yeah, so that should just create the same. Oh well, apparently not. Oh, but then we need to create the block position plus R. Yeah, so this actually needs to be a vector 3, essentially. And then this needs to be a vector 3. And then this is our height. Well, this is plus equal our height. Yeah, because our neighbor, the player area, yes. Okay, and then we create the block here as a position. So this now needs to say, yes, we're actually this is the block location, let's say, and then this is the block position. So we round the int, the location, into a block position if we contain it. And then here, you actually need to say, no, 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 don't, yeah, set me to the location, and then add, not the block position here. Yeah, so you're using the block location to set the actual position, but, deciding that, um, yeah. Wrote that and feel like, okay, so our location is, yeah, 1, and then so our, so yeah. Let me say when our height, how do I argue on the height difference? I think that's up here in test. When you want to create the area of the height, yeah. Oh, wait a second here. Oh, no, 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 we're using the tile height here. Yeah, so we're creating the area using the tile height. Is the tile height plus the 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 tile location. I don't know. Yeah, it's not just the tile height, but it's the tile location. So it's the 1 plus, so it's like, well, 1.2, 0.5, whatever. Okay, yeah. And then this is the tile location, yes. And that actually should be a little bit easier for me to see that, right? So this is, oh, because we're in Minecraft, it's point. So now let's say, okay, no, 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 let me go to slabs. It should be 0.5. Yeah, you can see that these are the individual slabs. And then, yeah, and we're not using any different, but somehow we're not getting the height into here. Um, Here, let me actually do something else here under the graphics mono. Let me say the serialized field for the vector 3 int block location. Here, let's call it block index. Yeah, this is really the block index. And when you say blah blah blah, on the rename. Let's just say the rename equals the vector3 round int transform.position. Yeah, so here you can see that it's -1. So yeah, well, it'll be easier once we get the heights back into the game. Okay, so where's the heights? What happened to the heights? So the block position here. Oh, right there. There we go. Yeah, you can see it's now doing something better, but it's not. Okay, so now we create the block. Oh, and then we set the tile. Yeah, technically you want to set the tile based on the block position here. And then you want to say, hey, come in as a vector3. Yeah, well, yeah, this probably isn't really. I was thinking I should use vector3s, like you should use vector3s and convert them all to vector ints. It feels like that's what you should do, because if you're not, you're converting them outside of the class. And it's like, to me, it's like you're not being clear, I think, to the user that you're expecting the block index, right? So this is the block index here. So index, I'm using like the array index, right? The 0 to whatever, and that's what we're focused on, is this block index. So it's this block node, position might be better. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so then the block location, and then you add it through the block index with the game object, and then you set the okay. Yeah, so this is the returns the area around 000 in block indices. Okay, so we're giving the block location, like the block position, and we need to convert this into, yeah, so the location, I don't know, I kind of tend to try to do that sometimes, but yeah, it makes it a little tricky sometimes. Why? So here's the block index. Let me go back to the test mono up here. Should have left this code in place and said, hey, now we're good. Let me create an area, the height of 0.5f. 1, 0. The block position. Oh, you could just use a neighbor here. Oh, I feel like this is this position. Yeah, so this is, we need to calculate the block index. So this is the block index equals vector3 round to int the block position. Yes. And then I want to create a block using the block, location. The block location, and the block index will be used right here. Hmm. Well, hoping it would actually be up like 0.5 or something, but I guess it wasn't. Okay, well, we've created this successful Oh, I feel like what we're doing now is, yeah, um, yeah. So I wanted to do this differently. I feel like that's why. I want to create the block in the neighbor. I still want to use the neighbor and somehow use the height. Well, let me say here. Let me um. I think essentially what happened is if I run this. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, if I run this, it feels like what happened is it's essentially creating, you can see hundreds of tiles everywhere. And eventually maybe I could like flip it on its head, I guess. And that would be cool. That's essentially what I would like. But because because I'm checking every single square around and then adding the height, so it's like it's not accounting for any spaces in between. Um, this is where it's like I need to create a ring. Um, yeah. Hmm. I'll get the player area. You know what we could do? Okay, let's just do this, right? So let's say dictionary. Well, let's just do a list, right? A list of vector threes of flat nodes equals, yeah. So we'll say flat nodes, and then we'll say, for each scene, we'll say flat nodes dot add the in neighbor if the flat nodes contains, then we'll create it. So if this equals false, yeah. Woohoo! Yes. Okay. So pretty much the flat nodes are like the every ring that we're creating of data, we're trying to yeah, yeah, every ring of data we're trying to create is basically the flat nodes. So all the data, and then we're trying to raise it up every every iteration of this, right? This is like, okay, so create the area, you know, this creates the area, uh, create an ever increasing area, increasing its radius, raising it by tile height. Well, like node height. Yeah, tile height, block block height. Hey, like block height? Can this be called block height? Let's just rename this to block height, right? Because this is you know, again, like this is actually like a const, like a read only, right? So this really is a read only. Well, in here is a read only of the block height, and it gets set. I feel like that's yeah. So this is like this only gets set here and nowhere else. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. I really wish I could say like, hey, do that. I think if I do this on an awake or start, can I do this in an awake? Here, if I say read only, I think I lose the ability to um, you lose the ability to manage that. But can I do that here? Nope. Okay. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. So I guess it doesn't really matter at that point. But really, it's a read-only value that said, hey, this is technically what I could do. Actually, you know what I should do? is, um, here, let me cut this, right? Well, no. I was thinking what I could do is you could switch, you could get the height, right? So here, let me show you like what I was talking about. So you could say public float block, you know, block tile height, and then you from here you say, hey, I want to do a, well, I think you have to do a get. Probably have to do a get because it's a little bit more complicated than you want to think about. And then let's go into setup, and then co copy this. Uh, I mean, there again, it's like that's my modus operandus is to show you how to do this, and stop being like, oh well, this is, I would do it this way. It's like, no, 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 no. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to show you how this would work. Oh, I think I did something wrong, but yeah. So this is the get da 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 da. Oh, oh, this is return. Oh, can I just say, yeah, I should be able to do that. Return. Okay, so we're returning. Okay, let me add a default so this will be happy. Um, oh, oh, no. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we're setting the block height to the value here, um, as we're calling it. So interesting. And then why are you? Why do you have 0 references? I never used this. That seems oddly weird. Oh, because I use it differently. Yeah, for instance, down here. So this is the block tile height now. Yeah, really, I could just like wipe this all out, and then yeah, once I use the block tile height, yes. Oh, that's the only time I use it. Okay, is that true? I thought you used it down here on the step height. Oh yeah, right there, block tile height. I guess there again, it's like this is right here is where the find all references are, and then this is yeah where I only use that, and then I only want to use this. Yeah, twice. Okay. But so yeah, so I move yeah, so that's probably so much cleaner, right? And then it sets this as a read-only value, really technically. So it sets the block height to that value and returns the block height, by the way. It's this is what this is doing. So it's setting this block height value and returning the block height, which is oftentimes exactly what I want to do in that sort of example is I want to have a read only that sets the value to whatever I want it to be. Um, but yeah, so now it's really a question of why I can't move in that block space. So, and I think it's sort of this idea, say, under the player input. Wow, it's like taking us so long and we haven't even got this, Unity engine bug.log warning. Uh, a player is blocked by the position. Yeah. Yeah, so somehow it still thinks that there's a 0, 0 block here, which I guess there technically is, right? That's the 0, 0 block is right there. Huh. Do I not need this? My unit is here. I guess technically I do need it, right? Why is it arguing that every single block around me is... Feels like my player is not where it should be. Oh, because we're in slabs now, right? Is this slabs? I guess we're in slabs now. Like, oh, like we're in something different. And the reason is we're in slabs. Yeah, so we're in slabs now. I'll have to see how this. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, okay. So now, okay, now what I want to say is, okay, so if the if okay, if the okay, so float distance of vector 3 int no vector dot distance of v position and my position, if distance less than or less less than equal 1.5 f, then I could say, hey, the transform position equals the v position, right? Else, wine. Okay, well that's exciting. Oh, oh, no, 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 no. I see, I see, I see. Okay, yes. So else, right? So else, I guess I see what's wrong because we're setting the transform position will just equal right here, will just equal the V position. We're just gonna like teleport to the block. I popped up on it. Nope. Let me say, unit teleporting to, teleporting from to, and then, oh yeah, I do have let me say, this is the position. One, 1, 2, teleporting from? Let's just say that this equals this, B position plus equal. I always get really paranoid that like this, makes a change. Like it takes the position plus the transform position and assigns it, which it doesn't feel like it should do that. But I always get a little paranoid that I'm like, why are you? Okay, so let me look at here. We're at okay, so we're at unit space 0. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, so that you're at 0, 1, 1. So I'm teleporting you from 0, 1, 2. What the? Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, about that. Got to change the values and then assign them. Yeah, so go from 0, 1, 1 to 0, 1, 2. Oh, but I need to add yeah, okay. Now, okay, so yeah, then I need to be on top of the block. Wow. Is this really how it's going to be? Really? Is this really how it's going to be? Uh, uh-oh. This is actually plus equal to the test Minecraft. We did this so long ago, we forgot about it. Block, 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 tile. All right. Yeah. So I feel like it should. Yeah. So this is a static, and then this is a Oh yeah, yeah. So this is, and then this is just instance dot. Yeah, I feel like this live stream is not going to go as smoothly as the first two, but we'll see. Okay, and then this is the, oh yeah, one more. Oh, this is an int. Oh, right. Yeah, vector 3 block index equals vector 3 round to int. Yeah, so I mean, this is really like where like the Minecraft and the trying to get, all this stuff um into the, into this is like, where it's like, oh, hey, okay, well, why are we can go up but not go down. Bum, bum, bum. Position dot y. Oh, the v position. Oh, the v position. Huh. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, that would make sense, right? So you're taking your position, finding the block index. It's free, but you need to like take a step down, right? So this is like where gravity comes into play. You're fine going that way and fine going X, Y, and Z, but as soon as you start trying to downgrade, um, yeah. So essentially, we need to say, hey, this, this where it needs to say, hey, apply gravity. Um, right here, apply gravity. So then we just say apply gravity. Um, void apply. Oh, did that? Void. Oh my goodness gracious, kids. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so essentially we need gravity at this point because we are looking at the block space. We can climb up the block space forever, right? But as soon as we step over that edge, it doesn't know that we're basically on the block space, which is kind of cool. It's like, hey, we're flying, yay! Um, and I feel like this should work, right? Let's go back and test. This should work for every single example, right? Because we are accounting for the block space. But oh, well, apparently not. Oh, um, yeah, looks like we're not. I guess we're gonna have to like adjust this for various things. Is this also a problem for slabs? Yeah, it's a problem for slabs as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, wow, that's why this calculation is so much easier. The distance of the um, isn't this the player height, right? Didn't we adjust the player height? Yeah, I feel like this should be the player height, right? Yeah, so let me say serialized float player height equals 1f, or well, equals 0f, and then we're just going to say public static float player height equals the instance dot player height. The player height is going to be set down here on the block tile height. So yeah, so the player height equals the block tile height, and then the player height here. I feel like that's only going to start us off, right? But unit space. We're at 0.5, and then we go to 0.1. Oops. Oh yeah, so this is the unit object position. Oh no, that's the setup. So on the player input, yes, it's transfer move. We're trying to move to a certain position. Oh, oh, I get it. I get it. So it's like, to me, it's like block. We need the graphics mono geo here. Yeah. So this is the graphics mono geo here. Well, the block geo will equal the blocks dot get using the block index. Yes. And then this is the block. Yes. Okay. So let me do this. I feel like we're pulling the if has no if contains if contains the block index and then return this, else return null. Okay, so then we're good here, and then we're going to clue in here, and we're going to say that this equals the, let me say, transform dot position equals the dot position, oh no, dot transform dot position plus the player height. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is vector 3, v position, v block location, this. I feel like this should be, I guess to me, it's like, I understand why, yeah, so there it is. That was what it was, thank you. Dot y equals the player height, plus equal the player height, and then this is the block location, the block location. I mean, it's like I would think that that would be what I want to do most of the time. There we go. Yeah, okay. So now we should be able to, use any block. Uh, Maybe I'm not explaining this very well, but it's working. So yeah, good job, Micaiah. Bad on the internet, but yeah. So now we just need to have a gravity sort of thing. Like, hey, cool. I can always go up and down, but um, essentially to me, like when I hit back, we're checking the block that we're standing under here, and it's like, hey, is there a block there? And the answer is no. I'm like, okay, cool. That's all it's doing, right? So every time it checks the block I'm under, and it's like, you're cool, but you're not checking the blocks below you. And that's where this apply gravity needs. So now we need to say, we're in, do I have a good example of this? I should do my, oh yes, I feel like we should do an art showcase here. Don't worry, people. Art's coming. Oh, no, I want to do the PTSD. No? Oh, yeah. Hey, you, what happened? Open with taint always? Come on. There we go. Okay. So essentially, if we create a new layer here, where's my layers? Layers. History? No, I'm good. I don't really care about history. I care about layers. Layers. Add new layer. View my layers. View. Huh. I feel like I should have layers somewhere. Oh, here we go. Layers. Okay. Okay, so let's say this is the gravity layer, and essentially um, we have this block space. It's right here. The player, takes a step up into this block space, right? So they take a step up, and then they take a step back because there's nothing in this layer right here. Like this is clear. So they're like, I'm good, right? So the player is like, hey, I'm good. But now we need to start checking down. And there again, it's like every till we find a tile. Yeah, so until we find a tile. So now we need to say the the while uh I guess we could I wonder I could do this with recursion. I could do this with a while loop. This probably needs to be a enumerator. Let's do an I enumerator. I enumerator apply gravity. And then we're just going to say, hey, good. And we'll just say this is a start coroutine. Start coroutine, apply gravity. And then, okay, so like, let's say, if serialized bool is in air equals true, and then we'll say start coroutine, apply gravity. Woo! We're getting fancy now, people. So we're going to apply, and then down here, we're going to say is in air is true, and then say while is in air. I guess we're going to do this. Very dangerous. Yield, return, new, wait 4 seconds, 0.15f. And then then we're going to say the block height, right? The position minus the block height. Do, 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 do. Um, yeah, so let's just do something like, say, we got it with, this is the transformed up, well, this is just, here, let's just set this to the position. Oh, we actually can't do that, right? Because yeah, we can't use position anymore. Yeah, 5 references. Goodbye. So this is the, no, transformed up now. Here, okay, so this will equal there, and then this will equal this, and this will equal the transformed up position. Oh, and then I want to say this is lowercase p, and then yeah. Okay, very exciting. Okay, let me get to my Unity errors. Oh, there it is. Essentially because yeah, player, vector 3, well, can't we just do vector 3 distance? Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's it. Okay. You kind of look at our positional here of our unit space. We're at 0.33, and then 0.66 point, because we're obviously in the 0.3, but yeah, so now we're not. So the applied gravity, I want to say the position equals our position, and then I want to say the v position dot y minus equal. Well, let's see. I like check if this um, if this, yeah, yeah. So it's like this, right? So if this, so we're checking our current. This is like check. This is check current block. Um, Yeah, so the V position, and then how do we, I feel like we almost should like convert this into a, like convert all of this into a function. Because it's like we want to take a position, get the index, find its height, and then check that height. Okay. Okay, so the block index equals our V position, and then we need to say the block index minus one. Well, it's the block index equals the position minus the block height. So like here, yeah, so then, okay, so this is the block index, and then this is the vector 3 V position dot uh, V position below equals V position, and then V position below dot Y minus equal the block height at this case, block tile height. And then we convert this into a tile index. Yeah, this really is going to be, and if it contains that block index of true, then we're on solid gone. Is in air equals false. And then yield return, or I don't know, return. We just return. Uh, oh yeah, just yield return null. Else, oh, well, no, it's just equals false. And then, yeah, well, then else. Feels like you're good, but because you'll break out of the while loop and in the loop. Else, you take the reposition. You need to like loop through all that again. And how would I do that? So I just say apply gravity. It feels like I should apply the gravity with the position, and then I can just apply the gravity again. Yeah, so let me do that. So it's, I say vector 3 position, let's say my position, and I'll say, hey, oh, by the way, the transform dot position equals the F position below, right? So we fell in and then we moved to that position. And then else we just say we'll start coroutine. Maybe we shouldn't do this in a coroutine, but hey, whatever. Is the V position below. Um, Live on air. Oh yeah, so I need the position here. So I'm just saying, hey, apply me at my current position, apply gravity. And then from here, yeah, so the current again is the transform dot position. Yeah. Oh, cool. Looks like it's not doing it correctly, but you can see the. Yeah. I mean, how cool is that? What's my. Yeah. It's working. Bam. Uh, so I'm not sure why we're not going up there, but we're going up here. So it feels like we get to the 0.6 and then we fall down. So like to me, it's like, okay, this is sort of like right here because we've applied a. Yeah, it feels like this blocks, right, is really like screwing me over because we are asking it for data that it doesn't understand. It's like we're asking it for 0.6 data. It's like, well, there's 0.6 data there, and essentially we're good because our heights are all compressed, right? That's what we're doing, right? So we're compressing all our height down to one flat plane raising it up and then saying this is the only block in the world. So that's how we're getting away with what we're doing right now. But yeah, that's perfect. You can see how it's like, oh hey, I'm gonna hop up above there and then fall down. I feel like there's a. Can I say this is like okay? So let me say not to apply the gravity in the second tick right here. Let's just say no, you're good. Oh, is error is false, right? So is error is false. It doesn't matter if it contains it. We're going to drop down one block and be good. Yeah, so we're going to drop down that one block and be good. It really feels like I need to look at this at an angle. I need to not have. Okay, so we're at the unit space here. Okay, yeah, so we are definitely like in that block space. Yeah, it looks okay, but we're still above the. Yeah, so we need to be at 0.3. Yeah, and then we're 0.6, but somehow we fall down. So I think that's the V block below plus. Uh, so then this is. Um, I think we need to set our positions. Yeah, like essentially, well, this. Yeah, yeah. So I need to like set. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me set a position here. Um, let's do it up here. We'll say public void set position. Give it a vector3 int block location, and then we'll set the position like right here. God, I really feel like I need to go fix that. Yeah, so set the location, the position based on this. Yeah, and then this, the reason you do that is through here, right? So you set the position based on the block location. You add the player height and then set the position to the block location. And that essentially changes nothing, but from here we say, okay, down here we say set the position to the position below. There we go. Yes. Okay, but we're now, okay, so yes. Okay, so now I can say, hey, apply gravity and see if it's gonna. Oh, no. Good for a certain point. Minus equals to block tile height. Oh, well, I need this. Say V position. Actually, let me do this, and this is this. That seems better. So the position below is the position minus the tile height. We get the current block index through the position below, and we check that, and then we set our position based on the block index, right? Ah, crap. No, well, through it's the blocks, right? So we say the blocks get. Don't we get a blocks get? Yeah, blocks get based on the index. We get the blocks get based on the box dot transform dot position. Hmm. Looks like we're good on climbing again, but we're not good on gravity. Is there a way to view that better? cube right here. Yeah. Feels like we're good. Man, I really need to. Hard to see that. I mean, it looks good, but sure, there's errors in here slightly. But okay, so once we, it's like I really need to rewrite blocks at this point because it's like I'm relying on, yeah, I'm relying on block positions. So I have two options, right? So this is option one. This is the managed block space data. So I could create a dictionary of blocks based on the block data, and then I could, when I create the variables here, I'm like, okay, give me a block data, and I'm instantiating this block, and I'm saying, okay, this is the block height. I'm presetting my block height, so X, Y, and Z are. But there again, it's also it's kind of like a yeah. If I ever want to add in more of my block data in here, which right now it's just okay. So I'm preset my block height to 1. Um, yeah. Alternatively, I could argue in favor of, well, uh, yeah, so what we could also do is on the test Minecraft here, the player location should probably be like 2F, right? So if we set our player, hmm, where do I do that? Like I can clean a lot of this code out right here. So if I say this is the player height, and then we'll just say, well, this is times 3F, right? So let's block the player up a bunch. They should then apply gravity, which I'm not sure why they don't, to fall down. Um, and where is the player input? Oh yeah, we're playing on the player input on the start. And then are we doing this on the update? On the awake setup? No. Well, this is an early start, right? So setup, and then this is an early start of. Oh, it's not. Okay, so let me say default execution order minus 5,000, and then this is default execution order of 1,000. We want this to run as late as possible. Uh, God, I just want to continue on this project. Probably okay. So I'm not sure why. Mm, Here, and the other thing too is like when you say on the player input, let's say we're going to get a silhouette of graphics mono geo, the block under equals nil, right? So from here you can say, hey, the block under, I want to say equals this, and then I want to say this is the block under dot transform dot position, and now we can see under the player. Oh, this is the scene view, and I want to go into here. So now we can see the player space, the block under, is now 0, 0, 0, even though our unit space is saying we're at 0.999. So there, that would indicate something to me that we're not doing correctly here. What's my block tile height? So my block tile height is um, yeah, my block height is 0.333. Well, this is the block height. So this is really the block height. It doesn't really matter. I mean, everybody knows it's the tile height, right? Right, right. So the block tile height is so we're unit, yeah. So we're unit is sitting at 0.99, and we're supposed to be standing on. Oh, you know what? I feel like it's okay when you add here. It's the block height, right? Yeah. So it's the block location plus the block height. There we go. And it feels like now feels like are we in that block height? Well, actually, we could just say on the player cube, right? Now we can select this block and it'll select us for it. And then we can actually say, hey, are we doing anything we shouldn't be doing? No, I feel like we're good, right? So yeah. So now we're standing on the block effectively. We can dump this into here, go into here. Okay, well, we're moving back up, but we're not moving down. Where's our player input? What block are we sitting on? Oh, that's all under test. We're on 2.6. Oh, can you notice? I'm noticing something massive here. This is point 0. Why is it getting this block here? It's getting this block here, and it's getting it at. Huh? Why would that be the case? Seems like it's getting a block on a different Z location. Okay, well, apparently I screwed up something here. Let's see the block coordinate index. Hmm, weird. Why are you getting me such a different block index? So we're at 0, 0, 0, and you're getting me, yes, okay, so we're good. Oh, it's not finding the block. Okay, so it's not finding the block here. Apply gravity into position. So we applied it to the gravity. And error is true always. We're waiting for a split second. We're saying my position, which is what we're bringing in. We're minusing the block height. Well, technically, we don't want to minus the block height until we get down to here, right? My position below is, so I'm just concerned that we're seeing the point. If we're blocked here. We set, no, we set our current position to the block position and apply the gravity, which would, yeah, so we set the position to the block position using the block location, apply the gravity, and then do our transform to that position. Then we apply the gravity to our transform position, which is exactly what we should be seeing here all the time, except for when we're trying to do the, well, this is just position. Technically can just be position here. Mm-hmm. If we're in the air, the block index, block below. Let me set this to here. Let me say, hey, we're good here. Yes, okay, so we're moving, and then we'll attach to Unity on a moving forward. So we're the should be at 1, 2.3, and then we set the position, and then we apply the gravity. Oops, I guess we're good. Yeah, so here, we're in the air. Ow. I feel like, yeah, okay. Well, okay. Anyways. Oh, but we don't actually, really? Huh. Oh, ew. Oh. I'm like, why didn't it get into this function? Well, because we checked the position we're at and we're checking if there's a block there. If the block isn't there, we're just like, we're cool. We're just going to move to the and really honestly, this gravity doesn't really matter because if there's no reason to apply gravity because we haven't really done anything, right? We found a block, we climbed up on the block, and we're done, right? That's all that really should say to us. Um, yeah, so there shouldn't be any. Yeah, here, let me bump out of this. There isn't any reason to say, you found a block, keep climbing, but as soon as yeah, there we go. Woo! And then here, when you're in the air, if here, let me not if in there, if you're in the air, uh, return, right? So to me, it's like if you're in the air, um, return, so we can, hey, we're gonna hang glide. Yeah. So there you go. Woo. Okay. Okay, and then we can actually probably like drop this down to like 0.1, 0.01. Like, actually what we could do is say yield return, wait for end of frame. Um, oh no, this is new. We need a new. Okay, I'm just tired, I guess. Maybe we should develop some other. But yeah, so now I can move forward and go up blocks and go down blocks. Apply gravity. Yeah, I feel like we could actually like change this around. Is just get key. Well, if that's the case, here let me da 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 to da, and then we'll just do the current document. Um, yeah, I feel like if you do that, we're just gonna be woo, woo, boom, 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 boom. Okay, let me say a float key timer equals 0f, float key timed equals 0.15f, and then if key timer is greater than 0f, uh, key timer minus equal 0.1f, and then key timer equals key timed, and we only need to do that when we hit a key. Yeah, so anytime you hit a key, do the key timer, and then we'll have this like delay key delay input, but we can also still be able to move forward at a blistering pace. Okay, so now we just need to say, okay, that's great, but let's set the key timer to, I don't know, 0.5. Is that too much? Oh, I feel like I'm not doing something right here. So this is uh oh, minus equal time dot delta time, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so now I just need to get the timer right. Maybe it's like 2F. So, yeah. Oh, I need a return. Yeah. It's like I'm not doing anything. Yeah, so now we're artificiously slow. So yeah, I felt like that was a good number, but yeah, because we weren't returning, we weren't doing anything. So it's like I was like, oh, they need to up the number more, and yeah, no, okay. So now we can just like maybe this at half that. Oh, here, what F? Just like a coroutine there would be. There we go. That feels good. Yeah. So now we're cool. We are now really really cool. Okay. The other thing too is like you can think about. Well, maybe not with the main camera. Oh yeah, yeah. With this camera rig, can't we just say 90 degrees? Oh no, no, it's this one. Yeah. So you could actually say, hey, rotate me 90 degrees at some point, and then I'd have to orientate this to, I think you actually say the graphics, right? Note, is it, oh, graphics by 90 degrees. Oh, well, that's not going to work. Anyways, there's some point, there's a way to say, um, we can now, I mean, that's one of the other things I'd like to work on maybe at this point. Like turn this into a full game, I swear. But yeah, so now we're good here. Let's test our different scenarios. Maybe I should like program a oh, cool. That's cool, people. Wow, yeah. Look at this jump off the cliff. Okay. Wow. I like I have, yeah, the whole point of this part of this project was to say to release a tile engine. Um and I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is actually I can't I guess it's the graphics cards, right? The graphics cards are, we're still running an insane FPS. To me it's like, okay, well, um let's go into our let's crank it up, people. I really need to like clean up all this code. Not the step height. Oh yeah, no, the step height is yeah. It's actually exactly where let's say 100. In fact, actually, what should happen at this point is let's say I enumerator build map, right, and then this is just going to say, hey, I'm going to start the coroutine. Start okay, start coroutine build map. I just get so excited about these projects, and I'm like, yeah. And then I can just, hey, bump this out, bump this into here, and say yield return, yield return new. Wait for seconds. 0.1f. Looks like that should be a. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, now we're at. Here. Let me. I think 100's too much. Let's do like 25. Well, you could actually probably do a create area. I mean, what's stopping you like from doing a re yield return start coroutine of this, right? There's nothing stopping you from doing it that way too. And then I can actually just remove this and start a coroutine here, and I'll just say, yeah. Let's see. We'll just say int I equals 0, I plus plus if I mod 10 equals 0, yield return yield return new wait for end of frame fixed frame. I don't know. Yeah. So like I'll save all your work and because yeah these but yeah these are the other thing too is you can start creating a pool. Another massive improvement would be to create a pool. Um, but yeah, I mean this is going to be whew, yeah. So how many? Wow, yeah. So look at my vertex is climbing. So yeah, that's. Oh, I feel I might be getting close. Yay! So there again, we've just created the entire world, which I think is great. I mean, it's like amazing. Like I have an insane computer, right? It's a I don't know what it is. It's not that insane, but no computer system information. Yeah, so I have a I don't know, a Ryzen 9 59, 12 cores, 3 millihertz. I've got a oh, I don't know, 30 64 gigs of memory. So I definitely would love to get another 64 and also have a I don't know, some kind of Alienware. Where's my graphics card? I don't see a graphics card, but I have a okay graphics card. It's not amazing, but I have some kind of okay, pretty nice graphics card. Is that hardware resources? Yeah, somewhere there's a graphics card in here. Is it a component? There we go. Yeah, so it's a bum, bum, bum. It's an RX 6900 that has looks like 30. No, it's got some like some insane. I don't know how to tell that, but I think there's some kind of yeah. So it's a 6900 RX, and then it's got a I think it was like 64. It's got some pretty good amount of video RAM is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I feel like, but yes, dots and dots, uh, optimizing the graphics, lots of different things could make this much better. But right, we're just trying to compare, the different styles and program for it because it's fun. Um, yeah, and yeah, I just that's just so cool. I love how they're like the little bunny hopping. Gotta get that. I gotta get that camera rotation down. So let's figure out why my camera get my camera outside of my graphics. Is that going to be better? And if I take my camera and say, hey, rotate by, oh, you know what it is? I know what I need to do. I need to say, hey, rotate this camera by 90 degrees. No? Hmm. Feel like there's a thing here that I'm not doing that should be relatively easy. Maybe it's the graphics. Oh, do I rotate the entire? Oh, I just rotate the entire. Okay, yes. Okay, I remember now. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, so on the player input, all I have to do is brum, bum, bum, right here, the key timer. So we're just going to say if input dot get key down or get key now, key code dot q. Um, yeah, sorry. It takes me a little bit to remember what's going on. And then I just want to say transform dot Euler. Uh, hmm, yeah, so I think it's like transform dot Euler equals new. And then we'll just say, I don't know. Um, Here, let me just come in here and say serialize int y rotation is 0. And then we'll just say this minus equal 90 and this plus equal 90. And we'll see if that's, so it's this the y rotation of 0. Huh? Uh-huh. And we'll see if that's good enough. Okay, so y looks like yeah, looks like we're rotating the graphics wrong for some reason. Cube is, oh, here the camera rig does not need to be out of this anymore. Okay. Hmm. Feels like I shouldn't be moving my, huh. Feels like I'm not thinking of something correctly here. Vector 3 dot up. Hmm. I mean, it looks like it's rotating, but I think it just feels like it's rotating something terribly wrong here. Um, yeah, I guess it's just. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So why is that the case? So I guess essentially what I've done is rotated around and you can kind of see, that's what I was thinking, like the graphics need to be moved entirely over by 0.5. Yeah, so let me adjust that. So this needs to be 0.5 to 0.5, and then the cube needs to be centered on 0, 0. And then I feel like that will give us a cleaner rotation. And then my unit space, yeah, so I'm in the Z by 1. Oh, but my cube, like, okay, so where? Yeah, I feel like we can now rotate. Nope. Yeah, we're not rotating still. Because my graphics are, okay, yeah, so my unit space is where? Great. Change all this. Oh yeah, so I've now moved my graphics. Oh, minus 0.5, minus 0.5. Okay, yeah, yeah, and then this is 0. Oh, huh, 0.5. Well, if I don't do that at all, I feel like we could get a better rotation, but, right, we're gonna get a better, no? Wow, we're not. Well, we were actually getting a better rotation. Hmm. Let's make this 0, and then we'll go into the unit space. Yes, and then we're the tile. Here, let me undo this graphics. Let's take a stone block, excuse me, here. Yes, okay, so this unit space is right here, and then the graphics of the unit space is at, oh, is it 0.5 and 0.5? But my unit space, yeah, so if I rotate my graphics by 90 degrees, yeah, so we're still not quite happy there. So if I take my cube to 0, 0, and my graphics to 0.5, 0.5, sorry, 0.5, I could actually rotate my graphics by 90 degrees and get the, yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Pardon my mess. Just trying to understand. Whew, I mean, transform graphics, graphics, right? Equals null. You actually do want the graphics at some point, but yeah. And that's the whole point of making the, making this sort of, um, making this the game object and then adding this as well. Um, oh, oops, I didn't set the graphics. Like, oh wow, it works. Well, not quite. There we go. Now we can't even tell we're rotating. Yeah. Oh, oh, I feel like my rotation is not Yeah, so this is kind of where it's like, oh my God, Unity, why are you being such a jerk, right? To me, it's like if you look at your Y rotation, it's like, okay, I want to rotate to the left, minus, I'm not, well, what? Oh, by the way, this is actually key time. Yeah, so, okay, well, that's a whole nother issue. Um, yeah, that's a whole nother issue. Yeah, so if I rotate, yeah. Oh, I actually think that feels good. We could add some smoothness to it, but I think that feels good. But then the problem becomes, oh, the graphics, right? So now it's like the transform dot forward has to be the graphics transform dot forward, right? So when you want to move the transform forward here, oh, right, okay, okay, I'm kind of an idiot. I did this to myself. So this is actually the graphics dot forward. So yeah, you want to, because that is just saying in world space, give me this. And now we actually have to use the minus graphics dot forward, and then this is graphics dot right, because yeah, yeah. Oh no, this is graphics dot right. Uh, this is, I feel, I wonder if we can, yeah, and this is minus graphics dot right. So now it's like, because we're rotating the world, now none of the common world vectors don't matter. But now we're good. Here, let me do one other like dumb thing. Say transform. I just want to confirm if I can use the transform dot forward. How many? Ooh, 2.5 hours. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So you need the graphics dot forward, because that's actually what's rotating, and what's the vector, the vector location. So this is just the unit that is storing the position. This is storing your rotation. So now we're cool. We can run around the entire world now. Woohoo! Up and down and through stairs and cool. And also in Minecraft too. So again, not very optimized, but it's fun. Just not the point. It's fun. We can have someone, hire some insane graphics programmer, and he can figure out all yeah, the hitching on that is a little brutal. But as you add in smoothing, you could kind of clear that out. Um, but yeah, I guess it's not horrible. I mean, it's like half dozen the other. It's just graphics at that point. Like all the math has been calculated. Um, yeah, we just get the standard heights. Um, now the big elephant in the room is and they're again doing chunks would actually help, but the big elephant in the room is essentially um, well, a big catastrophic event here. I guess I'm trying to decide if that's true. Maybe I fixed it, but on the build map, yeah, we're building the step height. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, I feel like it's correct in, yeah, I think it's correct in 99% of the areas. Because, yeah, we fixed the height. And there again, you can see the block index. Um, but we're also not, excuse me, we're not using variable block heights. So by that I mean the fact that you look at your world block example. We have one block data, and then we have all these block data that we're actually not um like, yeah, this is the Hamlet, just point one. That's fine. It's just one piece of block data. But then like the 333 block here, we actually have, we could use the point 0.6 and 0.3. So we're not doing that. And also the 0.5 here. We also have, oh yeah, this would be the slab block. So essentially to me, it's like if you turn on two slabs block, you're in a block position, but you're not calculating out. Um, and there again, that's what this is almost like starting to think about, right? Is okay, so now, okay, so Minecraft Hamlet has one block space per block. Everyone else has 1F divided by the block numbers of space. So we need to convert, convert block space into usable blocks. And that could be really cool. Let me oh, I don't know, like point 0.3. Yeah, let me take the 0.3, drop this into a prefab here, save, and then what you could think about too is at some point, um, it might be cool to have this, and then for this block is like, hey, this is 1.5. So it's like you have this variable block space type of data. Uh, but there again, like gravity could apply to blocks as well. Like we could have a block of gravity and apply, we could apply a gravity element to it too as well. Um, I wonder if I could just do that, like make a general gravity. Yeah, let me like let's create a C# script. We'll call it gravity, block gravity, gravity. Yeah. And we'll just say gravity, and we'll say um, the player input, and I want to say the player input, and I want to get the block underneath you, move it over to gravity. This is like where Unity's like, well, you probably should do, um, you know, functions that are and use here, and then we'll just take the gravity, we'll apply this here. We'll get rid of the start and update. And I'll just make this public. Oh, and I want to say is in error, right? So, oh, well, I feel like this data here, I guess we'll just say gravity here. And then we'll say public bool is in air. We'll say is in air. And then we'll just drop this down to here, 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 and here. Oh, okay, only here, I mean. That's what I technically meant. Okay, so we want to set position. So this is a public a public I feel like we have to say set position. Oh no, it is public. Okay, cool. So now we need a gravity gravity equals null. And then we also need a player input. It's kind of like doing these cross functionality functions. Uh, player input equals null is a little counterproductive, but okay, let's fix all the errors. Okay, yeah, so I was thinking that I wanted to make these accessors, and that's not possible. So obviously one that we could do right now is say take the player input and then set the position. I feel like I should set the position based on the block position, but I don't know. Let's not argue too much about gravity to apply gravity. And then this is gravity dot is in there. So that's mostly what I wanted that for. It's like to make an accessor, and then yeah, here we go. So now we should be back to normal, right? Yay, normalcy. But we actually need to say, hey, I need to say gravity here, and then drop this here, and then this. You could probably do a get component on them, but yeah. Um, Cool. Okay, now what I want to do is say, okay, this is cool, but I want to say gravity to here, and I want you to say up to 5, and you're going to be 2 and 2, 1 and 1. Say 1 and 1, and you're going to be up to 5. And then your gravity, yeah, so what do you need player input for? Oh, the set position. Maybe I should just take the set here. Let me take the set position. Oh, huh. Okay, well we'll decide if that's a bad thing or not. We actually don't need this anymore, right? Yeah, we just say set position. Gravity self-contained. I want to self-contain gravity and not player input right now, so maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, but the gravity dot position. Well, isn't it just position? Can't we just say, hey, position is position? Vector 3 position equals transform dot position? Yeah. So, oh, this is, yeah, so this is gravity dot set position. Yeah, so we take the input, we decide the block space, and we move forward. Okay. And then from here, why are you not applying gravity? Okay, so you're a block here. You're in the air. Oh, gravity doesn't apply gravity. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me remove that. So what I mean by that is gravity doesn't apply this gravity function here. So to me, it's like, no, 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 we're good. Let's make gravity a start function. Void start. Oh, come on. Yeah, and then we'll just say, I don't know why I'm crazy. I'm crazy. That's all there is to it. I just have to have that start functionality for some reason. Woohoo! And there again, where the block doesn't actually matter. So, yeah. So now, yeah, blocks are applying gravity. Woohoo! But that doesn't mean anything, right? Like if this is if this stone block was a Minecraft block, right? Let's say it was a Minecraft block. It doesn't really matter. Um, we actually could get the Oh, well, that didn't work out. Oh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. You're so fancy. You're so fancy with your code. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. We can't actually step on the block. Um, but yeah, we actually don't need the teleporting anymore. We can't actually step on the block, and the question is, how do we step on the block? So I guess that's actually the really good question, right? So how do we step on this block, and why is the blocks not falling with gravity? Like all blocks could now be, you know. I mean, you want to see something crazy, right? Let's go into the prefab and say apply gravity to everything. You want to watch your computer cry. Here, let me disable this block, and every block will now fall. Aren't we falling? Huh, thought we should be falling. Ah, are we? Oh, we're looking at ourselves. Huh. Oh, yeah, so we're looking at ourselves and saying we're okay, even though that is not the case. Yeah, so we're a slab. Okay, that is interesting. Here, let me. Okay, well, I guess we're catching ourselves and say no, we're not falling because which is weird because this is. I guess this is kind of yeah. So this is still not the case. Okay, yeah, that makes some sense, right? Because you can see now this block is actually at 0, 0, 0, or -1, and it's saying, but its actual y is at 0.5. The block under is this block, so the block data does not equal the block position. So it's checking the block that it's at, even though, yeah. So that's like the block heights are their height in the world, but their position in the world is based on the total block data. I guess to me at this point too, um, I'd like to actually steal some code, because I feel like if I could show that to the world, that would be good. So essentially, what we're looking at is, it's not the code I would want to borrow, but essentially what I want to do is implement this functionality, right? So I want to be able to say this block is in this node space. So essentially, it's not too hard to do. So we just say create empty, and we call game mouse, and then we just say, hey, 0, 0, 0, and we're saying game. Oh, I actually need to create a base function. So create a C# script. We'll call it game mouse, and then eventually I just need a input here. Um, yeah, so it's just a this is a vector3 int mouse position equals vector3 int dot 0, and then this is the now yeah, so this is a vector3 mouse to block, and I say the mouse to block equals the mouse, or whatever this mouse position, mouse block. Yeah, so this is just mouse block. Yeah. And this is mouse to block. Oh, and this is a function. This is vector3 the mouse. Well, this is vector3 mouse equals m equals input dot mouse position, and then return vector3 round to int the mouse. Okay. So now if I hit here and oh, of course not. Let's add the game mouse. So now I'm looking at this block, but you notice that the mouse position is in screen coordinates, right? So that is how you know needed to convert the camera dot main dot let's see, mouse what is that? Is the mouse to world? Or let me say unity mouse to world position. Oh, blah 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 blah. You're not gonna hear a video. Oh no, not in 2D. Well, yeah. Oh, a screen point to world point. Yeah, so it's camera dot screen point to world point. Um, input dot mouse position, and then this gives me a vector3. So vector3 mouse. Oh no, equals. But essentially, I have to cast a ray at some point too. Huh? Huh? Feels like Like I should be able to get much more data than that. Nah. Anyway, so let me, what's the best? I guess we actually have this. Okay, so we're going to go borrow some code now. So now if we go into, let's say, tiles, which I kind of wanted to be showing off tiles at some point too, to showcase where we're going with this at some point. Um, and really the the um, the direction here, however you want to say it. So this is where we at test tiles. I think we should be good, right? Should we just run test tiles and we're good? Nope. Okay, of course not. Okay, well, tiles is a very, it is a very, that's actually, this is actually, at some point I would like to get to here where we can actually go in here and adjust and rain particles, yes. But really we're just trying to say, Haven tiles under scripts. Oh, I guess it's just the blocks, right? Test blocks 11. So under test blocks 11, you can see now we have, have a lot. So now our tiles are now much better, right? And we actually have we have camera zooming in and out and camera movement as well. Um, and then also this is like, this is trying to test out like land, right? So, this is the distance from here. We're trying to calculate it, the land based on this island. But what I want is this up in the top right where I can now say, hey, I can now scroll all over the world and be fine. Even though that's in 2D, that's okay, right? So we just need the mouse UI, and then here's the game mouse. So essentially, there's a lot. So here we're just taking the mouse text and we're trying to set the text based on the mouse text, action. So that's all that's trying to do. Here is like when you get the round to the mouse position, you get the mouse to world, which is what we're focusing on. And then if we get the mouse down, then we have this. So this is the mouse to world. Wow, I guess that's okay. That's not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Oh, I feel like we are probably not as essentially that's what we were doing, but yeah. Um, let me bum 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 bum. Yeah, so we got the mouse to world. Let me just do and get all these instances out because we don't need um yeah, so we do the camera dot main. So whatever camera we're looking at, we're doing the floor to int the this is a vector 3, so vector 3 world point. Then we say vector 3 int world position, floor to the int. And we'll just actually return this, right? So we want to return this new, yeah. Okay, so that I feel like will give us more, but I feel like it's going to give us it in, oh, huh. Why are we put that mouse position to the world point, and then we take the world position, floor it to the int, and then split it off into, huh, that's just strange. Feels like I should just be getting tons more data at this point. This is a point from screen space world space where world space defines the orthogonal sense at the very top of the, yeah. Huh. Okay, so what do we, so our world point is 1, 3. And the input's mouse position. Like a raycast might be better at some point, but yeah. Did I do something different here? Is there another game mouse functionality? Oh, down to here. Don't we do a, yeah, there we go. There's a ray. Yeah, so this casts a ray, raycast all, and it just tries to get the furthest point from that ray and returns a node because it's a tile geo. Yeah. Yeah, so let me copy this. Um, yeah, debug, so stop debugging. So you can ray it to the graphics object, essentially, which is, I think, what we actually have to do because of, so I'm just going to get the tile at my mouse position. And I'm just going to say, hey, if this is a object, um, I think at that point um, we need, um, so we need a box collider, right? So we need a box collider, right? And this is kind of like the point, right? We need a box collider to say, and this box collider actually has to say the zero point 0.5 by 0.5. And then, yeah, and then this is actually 0.5 as well. So even though we're in that world space, you can see we're actually, and that's what we're trying to showcase, right? That's the whole point of this, really, at this point, is just trying to showcase that that is a, um, and then really we just say, hey, we're just going to say the serialized field of the, the mouse, mouse geo equals null. And then we're just going to say the mouse geo equals the um, mouse to node, a get tile of the input dot mouse position. Oh yeah, and I need a tiles layer, unfortunately, as well. I think can't you just say default? No. Okay, so I need a layer here. That's over here on this code. I need a layer mask. Yeah, right here, the layer. Which I don't need the static, but yeah. So I'm just gonna say, hey, the tiles layer is the layer mask. And for that, nope, you're still unhappy. The tiles layer. Oh, oh, right. Well. I guess I'm just not gonna make this static. I don't need to make this static. Yeah, there we go. That's that's all. That's all I need. And then I think I can set this to everything. Let's hope. Huh? Of course it's not working. And then we're getting the tile. What's the function here? Get tile input dot mouse position. Yeah, here's the, yeah. That's kind of how you use the tools essentially. And then we got a camera. I guess we turn off this camera and use one camera. Probably a problem. Um, huh. Got the graphics object here. Oh, did I? Okay, yeah. So I applied the trigger here, or this is what's going to prevent. Actually, what we can actually just do is open up this and say, let's add a layer, and we'll just say tiles, or I don't know, whatever, and we'll just set this to the tiles layer. Yes, change children, and then we'll bump out to here, drop this into the tiles layer, and it might be a little bit more. Yes. Nope. Yeah, you can select multiple. It's just a boolean. There we go. Okay, so now this is that stone, right? So we're now selecting that stone, as you can see. But as we move up, but there again, like, so this is that entire node. Um, Feels like to me, feels like you can figure this out differently, but yeah, because essentially, like Minecraft, I would say, is like, okay, we think about this and we're looking straight down. Anytime we click on a tile, we're now going to get this tile specifically, right? Because we're in that tile space. Now, if there's 1,000 tiles underneath it, it's, we're still looking at that, that single tile because we are, you know, casting down. Now, this is casting a ray into the scene. Now we can say, okay, so now if this stone isn't here, um, right? So if this stone isn't here, which is this stone right here, ironically enough. So if I remove that, now I can say, okay, there's a dirt underneath there. Um, and there again, I'm standing on, oh, sorry, I have to click on the screen. I'm standing on -1, 1. So if I look at my unit, I'm at -1, 1. So that's where I'm standing on. And then I think, oh yeah, I have to actually click back into here. So if I move forward, I can now see that I can, step onto this tile. Um, So now, actually, what you could do is now say, okay, well, now what I want to do is create a cube that's zero point 0.5. Well, I actually have to create an empty. Let's say this is the mouse geo, and then we'll drag this to here, and then this will be 0.5 because we've got to account for the 0.5, 0.5, and I believe this is 0.5 again here. And then I want to take my mesh material, and I want to say that it's how do I say this without, I don't think I have this. Let me move this over to like 2. Yeah, I don't think I have a material that, well, is that good enough? No. I'm saying, no, I don't think so. Yeah, so I need some kind of material that does what I wanted to do without feeling like if I do this, here, what you actually could do is just say, set this to the player, just so we can see what we're talking about here. And then we just set a game object here. Serialize game object mouse geo, no, geo mouse, the mouse selector equals null. And I just want to say the mouse selector will equal the mouse geo dot transform dot position. Oh, no, selector equals the transform dot position. And then I just need to apply that object to that field. So now we can see that it will be hard for the player, but now we can see that it's actually, oh, interesting. Is that because of we didn't clear? No, it's really upset about something. Oh, oh, right, right, right. So this has to actually say if the mouse geo not equal to null, but yes, I'll accept that AI. I'll accept that. Yeah, so this not, yeah, so it's not equal. So it's like sometimes there's not a, like over here, the mouse, can be null, but now we can see, um, yeah, in fact, what we should do is probably just say this cube is 1.1, 1.1, and 1.1. And actually what make me, let me, oops, no, 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 no. What was that? Services. No, 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 I'm good. Thanks, Unity. I appreciate it. Put stupid buttons on me for no reason. Close tab. Let me say my materials. I'm gonna duplicate the player and we'll call this mouse and we'll set this to like red or something. I don't know what, it'll actually set it to, well, red. Sure, that red. And then we'll just set that to the mouse. So now I can actually showcase that yeah, we're fighting. Oh, but it feels like why is the cube? Oh, is it 0.6? Yes, I guess it's 0.6. Hmm, feels like it needs to be 1. Hmm. Feel like oh, hey, if I do a scroll, well, I can scroll up and select whatever this is. I feel like that's a interesting mechanic. So we're at yeah. So here, where are we at? So we're at 0, 0, 0. This is at 0.5. Yeah. So and then to me, it's like here. Let me say the mouse geo, right? The mouse geo to sort of highlight. Sorry, I'm not. I feel like I'm going. So this dot name will equal the uh, vector3 int dot round to int the position. Oh yeah, yeah. I have to close out the. It's so much fun here. Okay, so we're at 0, 0, 0. Yeah, so yeah. So even though we're at the 0.5, oh, I guess we're rounding it too low. It's floor to int. Yes. Okay. Okay. I see. Look at this down here. The camera block, the mouse to block is telling me what it's doing. That's okay. That's wow. Um, yeah. So let me say round to. Oh no, I want to say the entire solution at this point. Round. Oh, and I don't need to say this. Yeah, so when you say here, you want to say the block index is the floored int. Oh my goodness gracious. I probably shouldn't. Okay, let me say this is the floor to int. Let's say replace all. Okay, that's destructive. I wonder how destructive that's going to be. No, probably not. Okay, so I think we might have fixed a few issues because now we can see like the, oh, and I still feel like this cube is not doing what I want it to do. So we're at, here, let me go to my cube, then my scene view. Guess it's actually trying to do what it's supposed to do. But to me, it's like you can see, like, if this was 1 and 0, we'd be good, right? That's exactly what I expect to see. So if this is 0, yeah, I'm at the block space. So I guess technically, yeah, so this is at 111 and this is at, so if I look at the graphics, blocks index is 5. What the? Oh, okay, okay. I see your issues. When you do that gravity, you have to say that my blocks under my block equals the, yeah, rename. So when I say, yeah, so the block, where was that? Yeah, so rename equals the material type, transform position. Oh, but yes, the mm, block index, right? That is, yeah, right here. the floor to int of the transform position. So you have to rename. Let's see. You have to rename yourself every time you make a change to your gravity, which is right here. So right here, you can actually set position. So right here is if your get component, the no, the get component of this. Oh, we should say if try get component of the blocks. Yes, the graphics mono go, and then we out the graphics, I don't know, var G, I guess. And then we say G. Yes, okay. So, oh, this is if try. And then we just say G dot rename. G dot rename. Right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Stupid C#. So now we look at a block and we're at the correct, and then yeah, so now we're lining up, right? We're seeing that this block is here, and let's actually say the block height. This is going to say the block here. I actually want to say something else here. I want to say the serialized float block tile height equals 0f. And then whenever you rename, I just want to say, hey, rename the block tile, the block index to the test Minecraft.block height. So it's like now I can say, okay, my block height is this. And yes, I completely acknowledge the fact that we're not making any change. So like to me, it's like, okay, we're at, 0, we're at this specific block height. I feel like we are again, and that's where the player is, right? The player should be at 111 as well. Unit space, yeah. So we're at the block height here. Yeah. So we're at that 1-1 block as well. So, but there again, we can move into this. So, to me, it feels like what we could do is, it feels like we could essentially, uh, yeah. So okay, so I mean, so another thing too is like, okay, so if you say, um, another way to highlight this is if I say, okay, I'm going to duplicate this and put a unit space of 0 right here, and I want to hit, let's see, I don't want to say, let's remove the input from this one. Um, when okay, well, here, let me unit space this up by 2, and then we should be able to fall down better. Yes. So when I'm a moving block, right? So when I check, I'm entering this block space. Well, the blocks are clear, but the players are not. And so at some point, I could say, hey, let me actually do kind of the pseudo code I was thinking about that would be really bad. Is if we're a position, what I want to say is blocks dot add the index, right? Where's my block index? I thought we had a block index. I guess it's the G. We'll add the G dot index, block index, and we'll add G here. So, and then this is, yeah, so the block index is this. So this is here, let me rename this to block index, and then public vector3 block index equals the block index, which is really just the block position, by the way. It's just the rounded int of the block position, and then this is the block index. So now, our player will say, "Hey, I can't enter that block," right? So they'll say, "Hey, oh, well, this should be okay. What is the Okay, what is the woo baby? Okay, yeah. So when we add this key here now, we need to say if, because now we're changing keys on the fly, right? So um, we're no longer, relying on the fact that we've changed the key only once. I mean, yeah, we now need to say, okay, add me if I'm not false. We're now avoiding the fact that, but now I still can't enter this block, and I'm curious to why. Oh wow, that's okay. So if my oh, is this, what camera are you using here? Let me argue with this and say, no, 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 no. I feel like you're using a wrong camera, but I'm not sure if that's actually the problem. My camera equals null. Um, I really hope that's the problem. So this is the camera, my camera dot screen to world. And then this is going to we're going to have to actually register cameras and all sorts of stuff down the line. But right now, we're just trying to get the camera, oh, game mouse camera rig. Wow. The game mouse, we're trying to get the unit camera out of here, which is the player unit camera. As Yeah, no, wow, I feel like yeah, because the camera rig is, yeah, so we're good here, but when the camera is rotating, it's not doing it correctly. Yeah, because we're casting a ray from the camera, and like this is rotated and this is rotated, and it doesn't understand. So really, like this camera needs to have a follow, to follow, which I feel like I don't know, a Cinemachine camera could do it just as well. But yeah, so anyways, let's ignore the mouse for now. That was just a demonstration of what, demo of what I'm trying to explain here. Okay, so when we, huh, we're still arguing of the fact that we're not. Okay, well, no, I guess I can't tell if it's, wow, can't tell what it's doing because it's not doing what I think it should be doing. Yeah, see, I'm not moving forward even though I feel like I can, but if I move forward this way, I can, but I can't move left and right. Yeah, so I guess it's, yeah, okay. Well, this is the unit space, and then we're not here with the gravity, but we're not. Okay, we're just using the input of this player. Okay. Well, I mean, obviously that's oh, I wonder if it's the block. No, 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 we're not doing anything like that. I'm like, oh no, the mouse is not controlling us. So here we're at the unit space and we want to go, I don't know, whatever this +1. Oh, we're blocked by. Okay. Oh, yeah, I feel like we're not doing it correctly. I wonder if it's because of this transform input. Let me say, um, public transform my transform, and we'll say this is the transform. And then let's see the transform here. And we'll just say my transform. I basically want to flip these things so I can just say, hey, I just want to say my transform and not have to worry about the, yeah. So try that again. Nope. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm the transform. I guess you have to, yeah, it's just the fact that it's doing the thing that it should do. So if I'm hitting that way, the opposite direction, it goes in the opposite direction. But yeah, but if I do this, it's in the correct direction because my graphics, is it the local? Is it the local? Oh, no, no, no. The transform dot, oh, I can't say local transform, right? No, I can't say anything like that. Oh, so then this would actually fix that and go back to the old transform system, but I feel like it's not, yeah, it's doing it correct that way, but somehow it's not. And there again, you can, well, yeah, I feel like it's, um, yeah, I think it's like transform dot Euler up or something. Yeah, so it's, oh, oops, by the way, my graphics is my transfer. So it's transform dot, uh, Euler, oh, how do you say forward? I guess I'm noticing that it's the rotation plus the forward, which equals the bump is the position plus the forward. Yeah, so this is plus, yeah. Huh, do I have that input here over here on tiles? On player, player input, input. Well, I feel like the tiles does it differently, massively different, right? So the tiles does it through the, um, oh, this is, yeah. So here on the tiles, we do this camera input, essentially. I want to say, let me pull up a different project and look at that, take a peek. Anyways, I feel like this is going to be the issue. I've just been coding way too long, and I'm kind of, I putz around and mess with things, and just I never get anything done. But uh, yeah, um, and then yeah, so this is kind of where the vector math gets a little hazy. I get the fact that vector math. Yeah, I've been streaming for over 3 hours. Um, yeah, so I want to go into this project here, and I actually want to go into Harvester 2. Ooh, baby. Yeah, this is like the yeah, lots of things to happen here. Well, it's all part of the scripts, and it's the player. Yeah, so let's say the player input. Hey, look at this, a player input class. Um, I feel like, so we're still doing the player. Oh yeah, we're bumping the direction of the player, right? And then we're saying is the player the V future. So the V future is the wall tiles to the future position. So it takes the, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so it takes the future position it wants to go in, and it says, hey, um, I want to go north. Yeah, on the player input. So when I hit W, report that key, we change the direction, right? So we change the direction and we set the, yeah, so we set the direction, which is directions is just a, the coordinate, the way to, without deciding where it is. And then we bump the avatar, and we say, yeah, if there's a, if something's free, it's kind of, and then we change the, oh, interesting. Yeah. So we change the camera RTS position. Yeah, as well, which is actually probably really interesting, right? Just to set the position to whatever the position we want. And that's how the camera was set. We could do that actually, and it would be really easy. And then we say the from avatar, we set the position of the avatar through the move. Yeah, so we set the position in the future, and then we set the position. But how do we move? Oh, this is the avatars, right? So yeah, this is the avatars. Yeah, this is the avatars. So here, yeah, so the avatars have to move this position, right? So if they are in this position, yeah, so this is the refresh locations. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, oh, yeah, so we're checking if this move is valid right here. If this move is valid, we're changing the position, else we're not. So it's like this is like, hey, if we're this is sort of discussing if we're moving into the, but does the player input have a Q and W? I mean, yes, they do. Okay, so yes, it's the, oh yeah, so I do the change rotation on the my character. I actually broke this. Yeah, so I do a change rotation on the my character. So my character is actually there's two different characters now. Character. I believe there's a character agent and a character. Yeah, but this is the character. So right here is just the character, and when you change the rotation of the character, um, what? Mm, is that the character agent now? Yeah, so my character, yeah, so the character, yeah, so here, and then this is the, oh, the player input, and I just say my character. Oh, no, oh, yeah, no, this is the wrong character. I feel like this is the wrong character. Yeah, I want to say it's the wrong character. Not sure I want to be showcasing all this, but so here we teleport the position. We set that position to the new position. Yeah, which is just, okay, yeah, that's not, yeah, and then this is like a lot of, yeah, you have to respond to a lot of these things as well, is kind of what I'm, yeah, so change here, let me say change rotation. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is, yes. Okay. So you need this code as well. Um, wow. So this is one thing I need is like when you change the rotation, you actually have to say, hey, if we're too much, we have to adjust for the Y result, right? So the Y result here, 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 and here. Um, okay, so we're still not doing that correctly. I feel like it's better though. Wonder if that's just okay. Okay, so what to me is what are we trying to say here? Oh yeah, yeah, and then we apply the graphics Euler anchors, which I think we've done, right? That's exactly what we've tried to accomplish over here. How to find the whatever. Um, and actually, we don't need this one anymore. Oh, we don't need this one anymore. Okay, so yeah, so we change the rotation, and then when we um, well, that's where. What are we changing the? We're changing the position in the same direction each time. We're not using transform dot forward. Hmm. I wonder if that's a thing I should do over here. Um, yeah. So really, I do want to say bump um, vector 3 dot forward, right? But I feel like this was um, back. I feel like it was not responding to the character bump vector 3 dot right. Oh no, bump. The bump basically essentially means in a roguelike is that I want to say vector 3 dot left because I want to test that location. I'm not actually wanting it. You want to move that location, but you got to test it first before you. So I feel like we're good here, but then if we, yeah, we're like still stuck on we're doing the opposite of what we want to do. Um, oh, and I guess that's the direction, right? So when we change the direction, we're like, hey, we're facing north, south, east, and west, and we're going north. So we, even are going south, so we're always moving in south. I guess you can also say that, oh, sorry, run piece of code over here is that when we bump this position, we, do we want to say, yeah, so this right here is our vector 3, and then we're flooring it to the end, and we're adding our position to it. Oh, by the way, this is the vector 3 position. Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, no, this is the V position. Yeah, so the block index converts that into the V position. We're good here. Yeah, so then it's the transform move. The move, this is the move direction. And I guess that to me is like, does that include the position? I think the answer is yes. Um, transform dot forward plus the direction. I should say that. Um, transform dot forward plus the move direction. Yeah, this feels like the transform dot forward plus the move direction. Let me eye that for a second. Anyways, I feel like I'm getting lost and a little tired, so maybe we should kind of, yeah, not doing it right. Okay. I'm just kind of floundering, I think, a little bit here. Oh, no, over here. Yeah, this is the position. Anyways, I think I'll just cut this here. Maybe I'll play with it a little bit more and try to figure it out offline. The other thing too I should talk about is the fact that at some point I'm also taking these projects in 2024 in my live streams, and I'm zipping them down. So this is part two. We lost part one, but I feel like it should be okay. But yeah, so I'm just going to end the stream, zip it down to part three, and then I can maybe upload this to GitHub or do something with them at some point. But I feel like, yeah, I'm good. We've got 3.5 hours. It's probably, yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock. I'm gonna either play with this for a little bit more, try to get the orientations correct. But yeah, I feel like that's good, better to do offline than flounder around for a couple hours and look at stuff and try to poke around. Anyways, thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Hope everybody's enjoying these.